Meghan goes wild. Harry desperate. Fighting nonstop. Tom Bower reveals Sussex marriage crisis. Once one of the most powerful and beloved couples in the world, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle crafted a love story that captivated global attention. From their lavish royal wedding in 2018 to the shocking decision to step back from royal duties in 2020 and the start of a new life in California, they embarked on an unprecedented journey in the modern history of the British royal family. But behind the glitz multi-million-dollar deals and high-profile interviews, a question is becoming increasingly unavoidable. Is the marriage once dubbed a fairy tale now showing signs of cracking? Recently, international media has been abuzz with reports of instability between Harry and Meghan, from behind-the-scenes arguments and misaligned ambitions to their prolonged public silence. Some outlets describe them as business partners rather than spouses, while others claim they're living under the same roof but pursuing two very different lives. So what is the truth behind these rumors? Are these merely the normal pressures of a high-profile marriage, or are they signs that cracks are beginning to widen? In this video, we'll dive into the latest revelations from royal author Tom Bower, whose book Revenge once rocked the royal establishment, and revisit the role of Omid Scobie, a writer once close to Harry and Meghan who has now declared his exit from the fray. This won't just be an investigation into a marriage. It's a story about fame, power, trust, and the fine line between love and control. A modern romance that shook the world, the story of Harry and Meghan began like a modern romantic blockbuster. In the summer of 2016, they met on a discreet blind date arranged by a mutual friend. Meghan was then a successful actress known for her role in the TV series Suits, while Harry, the world's most famous prince, had emerged from his rebellious years seeking stability in his personal life. No one could have predicted that this encounter would spark a romance that would shake the world. Just over a year later, in November 2017, they appeared in an engagement interview with the BBC, where Harry revealed he proposed to Meghan in a simple yet sweet moment at home as they were preparing roast chicken. The story quickly dominated global media, a British prince proposing to a Hollywood star in the kitchen, a dream where American ambition met British fairy tale. Their royal wedding in May 2018 at Windsor Castle elevated their love story to new heights. Meghan walked into St. George's Chapel in a pristine white gown symbolizing a new era for the royal family. More modern, more diverse, and full of hope. Global audiences tuned in not just for the spectacle, but because they believed they were witnessing a transformation of the British monarchy. For the first time, a woman of color divorced, and from outside the aristocracy became a British duchess. Their love at first seemed to overcome every barrier. But as we'll explore next, behind the smiles and glamour lay countless pressures, simmering conflicts, and unrelenting expectations weighing heavily on their shoulders. Early cracks in the fairy tale. Despite the initial glamour and well-wishes, the first cracks appeared early. According to biographer Tom Bower, Meghan struggled not only to adapt to the rigid protocols of the royal family, but also quickly became a target of suspicion within the palace. She was accused of failing to fit in, even deemed too different from traditional expectations. The British media was unrelenting, scrutinizing her every move and expression, blowing any perceived misstep into a scandal. Meghan shared in her Oprah interview that she felt isolated, unprotected, and even contemplated suicide, but what made things irreparable, according to Harry, was the royal family itself turning its back on them. In his memoir, Spare Prince, Harry asserts that the tensions weren't just from the media, but stemmed from a fraught relationship between Meghan and William and Kate. He describes simmering disagreements, cold conversations, and an unforgiving stance from the royal family that left Meghan feeling sidelined. The tipping point came in early 2020 when Harry and Meghan made a bombshell decision to step back from their roles as senior royals, an event dubbed Megxit by the media. They left the UK, moved to California, and began a new life, free from palace pressures, British media, and outdated expectations. It was a move both shocking and understandable, a final effort to protect their young family from the invisible crushing weight of royalty in the press and foam. Under pressure, arguments and boundaries of love, no matter how radiant its star, cannot escape collisions, especially under the world's microscope. In Spare Prince, Harry offers a deeply personal and poignant glimpse into his relationship with Meghan. He recounts a heated argument in 2016 when he was cruel to her in a moment of anger. What stunned him wasn't an angry retort, but Meghan's eerily calm response. She didn't shout or throw things. She simply firmly stated that if this was how he behaved when upset, she couldn't and wouldn't continue the relationship. That moment, Harry writes, set a clear boundary in their relationship and was the first time he realized how his own wounds could harm the person he loved most. However, boundaries aren't always upheld. According to royal biographer Tom Quinn, who studies the inner workings of the palace, Harry and Meghan's arguments differ from those of other royal couples. While William and Kate are described as having mild disputes, throwing pillows, sulking, then making up, Harry and Meghan's fights are fiery. They engage in intense, high-stakes arguments, often dramatic and emotionally charged. Quinn describes these as not just fatigue or misunderstandings, but rooted in profound differences in life goals and ambitions. This tension is explored further in Tom Bower's latest book, released in early 2025, which caused a stir following Revenge. He calls it a serious crisis of direction and values. According to Bower's sources, Meghan is in a relentless race to reach the pinnacle of power and fame in Hollywood, aspiring to be an icon entrepreneur and global activist. Meanwhile, Harry, raised in the royal power structure, struggles to understand her world. He grapples with redefining himself in an environment where his princely title holds little practical value. For Meghan, life in America is a chance to shine freely. For Harry, it's a disorienting journey of searching for purpose. This divergence has become a chasm in their relationship, not because they no longer love each other, but because they love at different speeds with different goals. Harry, who left the royal family for Meghan, now finds himself trapped in a world he doesn't control. Meghan, who gave up everything to join the royals, is now tirelessly building an independent Meghan empire. They're drifting along two currents, and though they hold hands in public, beneath the surface are undercurrents the media has only begun to uncover. Growing apart, separate paths in 2024. In 2024, those following Prince Harry and Meghan Markle noticed something unusual: their increasingly conspicuous absence from each other's side. Though there's no official announcement of separation or divorce, their solo public appearances tell a different story. Harry attended the DealBook Summit in New York alone, his face pensive, his speech focused on mental health with no mention of Meghan or their family. Weeks later, Meghan appeared radiant at a charity event in Los Angeles alone without her wedding ring, and with no reference to her husband. This separation is no longer coincidental, but a series of signals the media can't ignore. The absence was even more pronounced during significant royal occasions. The November 2024 Remembrance Ceremony, an annual event the couple once attended together, saw only a pre-recorded video message with Harry's formal tone, but no Meghan. The public quickly questioned, if there's still a united front, why didn't they appear together for an event tied to Harry's military past and royal legacy? Choosing to send a remote message rather than attend in person was seen by many as a sign of growing distance between the couple and the royal family. On social media platform X, formerly Twitter, speculation surged. A post shared thousands of times read, "Harry wants to return, but Meghan doesn't. This is the breaking point." Another user commented, "She's chasing a Hollywood empire while he's still looking back to England. How can they walk the same path?" These comments don't just stem from fleeting emotions, but reflect the sentiment of a portion of the public, those who once supported their royal exit, but now question the outcome of their rebellion. Experts also suggest that the solo appearances in 2024 aren't merely a PR strategy, but could be a way to manage public perception amid a relationship at a crossroads. Royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams notes that Meghan's focus on personal projects and Harry's emphasis on inner struggles signal two separate journeys, even if they're nominally still a couple, he adds, when there's no shared goal, no external challenge to face together. Internal distance quickly surfaces, and perhaps that distance is evident in their eyes, gestures, and absences. No announcement is needed. The public is gradually sensing that the fairy tale may be entering its darkest chapter, where love doesn't break due to betrayal, but because each person's dreams are branching apart, diverging dreams, a fundamental divide. If there was ever a time when Harry and Meghan walked the same path, leaving the royals, building a new life, and fighting the media today, that path is visibly splitting. According to Tom Bower, the rift isn't just from internal tensions or media embellishments, but stems from a profound, nearly irreconcilable difference in life goals. Bower claims Meghan didn't just leave the royals for privacy. She wants fame, power, and ultimately billionaire status. A controversial statement, But looking at Meghan's recent activities, registering the American Riviera Orchard brand, launching a premium product line including organic jams and home goods, and mingling with Hollywood moguls, it's clear she's strategizing to build a personal empire. An empire not reliant on royal status, but on the image of a modern, independent, ambitious American woman. Meanwhile, Harry's on a different trajectory. His Invictus Games project, dedicated to the veteran community, reflects his loyalty to his military past and humanitarian values. His talks on mental health, compassion, and past royal traumas reveal a Harry still tied to his roots, a man who even in California yearns for reconciliation with his father, brother, and the memory of his mother, Princess Diana. This is the divergence. Meghan, with her branding strategy, no longer wants to be framed as the rejected royal daughter-in-law. She's rewriting her story as a modern American woman in control of her destiny. Harry, despite his fierce anti-royal rhetoric and spare, reveals a faint hope that one day he might return to his family's embrace. This difference isn't just in actions, but in every campaign and statement. While Meghan plans branded products, Harry speaks to veterans about war memories, loyalty, and loss. One looks to a future of opportunity, the other lingers on a past of pain. This misalignment prompts the question, is love enough to keep them together when each is running in opposite directions? One builds a personal empire, the other seeks inner peace. One constructs a bridge to Hollywood, the other pines for a bridge back to Windsor that may never be rebuilt. If Meghan embodies the American dream, bold, independent, and commercialized, Harry remains a living relic of the British monarchy, carrying unhealed wounds and an unfulfilled desire for reconciliation. Between these two worlds, love may not be enough. The relentless media spotlight, if anything, has consistently shadowed Harry and Meghan, even after leaving Buckingham Palace for California. It's the unrelenting scrutiny of the media. From tabloid front pages to social media comments, they've never truly escaped the sometimes hostile public and British press. Meghan once painfully stated in their Netflix documentary that she was one of the most bullied people in the world. Though controversial, this claim reflects the reality she faced entering the British royal family, a system where women, especially foreigners with strong opinions like Meghan, easily become targets. From the color of their home's paint to her fashion choices and glances at her husband, every gesture was dissected mercilessly. Harry, once the beloved prince, became a litigant against tabloids. He sued the Mail on Sunday, the Sun, and the Daily Mirror, accusing them of privacy invasion, phone hacking, and fabricating stories. These lawsuits weren't just legal actions, but a personal manifesto from someone who watched his mother, Princess Diana, hounded to her death by cameras. In their 2022 Netflix documentary, Harry and Meghan, they openly criticized the royal media system, calling their 2017 BBC engagement interview a staged performance. Meghan shared that everything from how they sat to their words and glances was controlled. She felt she couldn't be herself, merely a part of a media performance, orchestrated by the palace. Public opinion is undeniably divided. Some, especially in the US and among younger audiences, empathize with their struggle, daring to speak truth and escape a toxic environment. They see Harry and Meghan as symbols of freedom and true love, defying the monarchy's rigid norms. But others, particularly in the UK, mock them as professional victims. The Spectator once criticized Harry and Meghan, "Don't tell their story, they tell a victim's story." To these critics, the couple doesn't truly seek privacy, but is commercializing their pain to build a personal brand, profiting from pity. Where does the truth lie? Is the media as cruel as they claim? Or have they, in trying to control their image, distanced themselves further from the public? One thing is certain, in an era where a single post can become a headline, Harry and Meghan walk a tightrope between sympathy and backlash, where every word and decision can be a springboard or a painful fall. A royal family fractured. If anyone doubts the depth of the royal family's rift, Harry's memoir, Spare, is the most vivid and scathing public accusation ever made by a royal in Spare. Harry doesn't shy away from exposing bitter details of his relationship with his brother, Prince William. One of the most shocking revelations is a physical confrontation in 2019 at Nottingham Cottage. Harry claims William insulted Meghan, and when he pushed back, the argument escalated, with William knocking Harry to the floor, causing minor back injuries. This wasn't just a sibling scuffle, but a sign that the rift had deepened to the core of what was once the royal family's closest bond. Harry also reveals tensions between Meghan and Kate, a relationship the public hoped would be a model of sisterly affection. Instead, it was the opposite. A seemingly trivial but highly controversial detail involves lip gloss. According to Meghan, when she borrowed lip gloss from Kate, the Duchess of Cambridge's reaction created an awkward, chilly atmosphere, a metaphor for their entire relationship. Tensions peaked during preparations for Harry and Meghan's wedding, where every word and tradition became a battleground. Royal author Tom Bower, who has long followed palace dynamics, offers a cold but realistic assessment. Reconciliation is unrealistic. He cites unresolvable anger on both sides. William feels betrayed by Harry, exposing private family matters publicly, while Harry believes he and Meghan were abandoned unprotected from a toxic media. As for King Charles, once seen as a lenient father eager to mend ties, Bower suggests he too has largely given up hope. Any efforts at reconciliation, if they ever existed, are now mere memories. Absent reunions, unreturned, hugs, and perfunctory birthday emails all indicate a royal family growing colder than ever. A costly new life in California, behind the glamour of multi-million-dollar mansions, designer outfits, and glossy magazine photos. Life in California for Harry and Meghan is far from the serene dream they envisioned. Their choice to be financially independent after leaving the royals has brought a slew of pressures and doubts about their ability to sustain their lavish Montecito lifestyle. According to various UK and US reports, the couple has faced simmering financial strain while maintaining an elite lifestyle in one of America's priciest neighborhoods. Multi-million-dollar deals with Netflix, Spotify, and publishers' seemingly solid launchpads haven't delivered lasting success. Spotify ended their partnership early, sparking debate about their effectiveness and appeal without their royal roles. Their Archewell Foundation, considered their spiritual child, hasn't escaped turbulence. Frequent staff turnover, with executives leaving it after mere months, and questions about donation transparency have raised doubts about the organization's sustainability and true goals. For a couple who vowed to do good their own way, this is a significant crack in the image they've worked to build. Even their paradise retreat in Montecito's wealthy enclave hasn't fully embraced them. Local reports note that their presence brought media paparazzi and fans, disrupting the community's quiet life. Some residents have listed homes for sale or moved away to avoid the public spotlight, inadvertently isolating the couple socially and emotionally. In a world where money, image, and privacy are in constant tension, Harry and Meghan are navigating a path more thorny than rosy. The question is, did they truly plan for the future when they left the royals? Or are their grand ambitions without royal backing costing them ongoing personal and financial instability? Signs of resilience amid the storm. Amid the negative rumors, suspicious absences, and public pressure, there are moments that make us pause and wonder, are Harry and Meghan stronger than we think? One of the clearest signs of their bond is their rare joint interview on The Graham Norton Show in mid-2024. Not in Hollywood's glossy settings or formal conference stages, but in a relaxed, open conversation where they appeared with warm eyes, natural gestures, and clear synergy in their responses. Body language expert Judy James, who has analyzed countless celebrity couples, noted Harry and Meghan in this interview were no longer the couple trying to project a perfect image. They've matured. Every glance, every exchange showed independent thinking, but a united core of values. James emphasized that Meghan no longer led the conversation as before, and Harry didn't shy away from personal questions. Both showed ease, standing together without pretense or defensiveness. A key point of connection is their united front on social issues, particularly combating online bullying, which they've experienced firsthand. They shared personal stories not to blame or lament, but to focus on positive solutions, aiming to build a healthier online environment for youth. This isn't just an agreement on a stance, but a reaffirmation of a shared mission they still pursue together. Additionally, both Harry and Meghan stress that raising their children, Archie and Lilibet, is their top priority. Though expressed differently, their words share a common thread. They want their kids to grow up in a world free from prejudice, rigid traditions, or fame's pressures, a world where laughter in the backyard matters more than stage lights and emotional safety outweighs any title. These signs suggest that despite the storms, Harry and Meghan aren't just individuals trying to preserve a relationship, but two people who've faced crises, clashed, and are learning to redefine love in a mature, realistic way. The media's double-edged sword. Amid the chatter, best-selling books, and sensational headlines dominating the media, one truth stands out for those following Harry and Meghan's story. Not everything printed is the full truth. We can't deny that authors like Tom Bower with Revenge and its recent 25 update know how to grab attention. But truth and exaggeration are often just a keystroke apart. Many behind-the-scenes truths rely on hearsay, anonymous sources, or embellished minor details amplified to fit a dramatic narrative the public easily consumes. A prime example comes from Harry's Spare, where he recounts a story about Meghan and Kate involving Princess Charlotte's bridesmaid dress. Meghan felt hurt by the incident before the wedding. However, the tailor who served both sides, later publicly named, disputed many details, highlighting the gap between personal memory and reality. This raises the question, what is objective truth and what are emotional snapshots turned into storytelling tools? Meghan also spoke out in her 2021 Oprah interview, a move seen as the couple's boldest counterstrike against negative press. She addressed her isolation and mental health crisis in the palace, directly refuting media claims from bullying staff to causing rifts among royals. Though the interview sparked controversy, it undeniably marked the first time they forcefully reclaimed control of their narrative. Ultimately, the media is a double-edged sword. It can propel a couple to fame's peak, but driven by profit and sensationalism, can also dismantle a carefully crafted image. In this whirlwind, Harry and Meghan seem to be learning to tread more cautiously, though their chosen path is far from easy, a story of highs and lows. Looking back from 2016 to now, Harry and Meghan's story is a symphony of soaring highs and plunging lows, evidence of a marriage crisis from arguments detailed in The Spare to increasingly separate appearances and divergent future goals cannot be ignored. Meghan's pursuit of high-end commercial projects contrasts with Harry's focus on charity and royal legacy, painting a picture of two individuals on very different orbits. Yet there are also signs of resilience and maturity. Their joint stance against online bullying, their synergy in raising their children, in their 2024 TV moment, where they appeared not as a perfect couple, but as real people navigating challenges together. We can't overlook the media's role in exaggerating and distorting. In a world where Meghan not wearing a wedding ring or Harry appearing alone becomes breaking news, distinguishing fact from fiction grows harder. Before concluding the fate of this relationship, careful observation and a balanced perspective are essential. So what lies ahead? Will Meghan continue her independent path, building an empire beyond her royal title? Can Harry reconcile with William and King Charles, mending the ties that once defined him? With a history of defying expectations, no one can easily predict what awaits. What about you? Do you think Harry and Meghan's relationship is truly in crisis, or is it all a product of a news-hungry media and overly curious public? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for the latest, most authentic insights into the British royal family. To close, let's recall a haunting line from Spare. Not the words of a prince, but of a husband and father fighting for what's most sacred. I have to do everything to protect my family. Whether you admire or doubt them, at this point, we all understand Harry on a deeply human level.